2 Corinthians 9:10. This is one of my favorite verses. It says it like this. Now he who supplies seed to the sower and bread for food will also supply and increase your store of seed and will enlarge the harvest of your righteousness. Now, this is why this is so meaningful. Look at all that God does. He supplies seed. He enlarges the harvest of your righteousness. And he provides bread for food from that seed and that harvest. He turns your harvest of righteousness into nourishment for others, into bread that you're able to give. He does all that, all of it. He gives you the seed, he supplies the harvest, and he supplies the bread, the nourishment from that harvest to impact others. He does it all. So what's your job? He says, you're the sower. You're the sower. That's what you are. You're the sower. It's your job to take that seed that he's given you. He says he's going to increase your store of seeds. Like every day you get that bag of seeds. Every day you get that bag of seeds. It's your job to take it and plant it. It's the small. It's the seemingly insignificant. But it's the grace that he provides in that moment. And it's your job to be aware of it, to look at it, to don't despise the day of small things. Don't despise the small things. Those are the very things. Those are the very moments that turn into a harvest, an entire harvest of righteousness in my life and in your life. It is very rarely the big things, the big accomplishments, the big stages, the big followings that advance the kingdom of God. Most often and not, it is the men and the women who are obscure, who no one ever knows their names, but who are faithfully planting seeds in their kids, in their grandkids, in the people around them, in the minutes they spend on their knees in prayer that nobody ever sees and knows. Nobody ever sees and knows that. That is where a harvest of righteousness comes and nourishment, bread for others. That is our job. It is to day by day take the seed he provides for us. These are the seeds of magnificence. And the passage that I just read, it gives us both a promise and a warning. In verses 6 and 7, he says, remember this. He wants us to be very clear. He says, remember this. Whoever sows sparingly will also reap sparingly. And whoever sows generously will also reap generously. And he's already told us, God's given you an abundance of seeds. So it's up to you. You have to decide, are you going to sow sparingly just when it's convenient or when it feels okay or when you have time for it? Or are you going to sow generously? And he says, and God is able to bless you abundantly so that in all things, at all times, having all that you need, you will abound in every good work. So there's no circumstance, no situation, no person, no time that this doesn't apply to. That we don't have the seeds for sowing and we can't take them and plant them. There's never a time or situation that doesn't apply. So the choice is ours. Do we want to sow sparingly or do we want to intentionally say, I don't have to have it all figured out. I don't need to know the next step. I just need to be faithful right now in this one, in this very moment.